Welcome back, Better Self community, to another episode. So I love making these videos for you guys. I love the constant questions that you guys have, and I appreciate the support more than you know. Today, we actually had a couple people ask about dysbiosis, and this has been kind of an ongoing thing where people are really starting to come into their own and starting to really understand that your gut microbiome really plays a big factor in not only your genetic predispositions, but really your overall health. So people are coming into their own realizing on top of it that what they're putting in their body has more of an effect than they ever would have realized. They think I'm just cheating today or I'm just eating this today. But your body can really hold on to toxins. It can really affect the microbiome in general because what you're putting in your body is not necessarily just in and out. It is feeding those trillions of bacteria that are in your body, especially mostly being in your gut. So a lot of the things with even your genes in general. What you eat turns on and off genes. How you act turns on and off genes. That's why health and wellness is so exciting because you really have the opportunity to really sit down with people and talk about what the biggest issues are, what their symptoms are, and understanding that the root of the problem isn't the symptom, it is just the symptom of a deeper rooted issue, which likely is how stressful is their life? What are they putting in their body? What are their habits? And through these and through self assessment and assessing with a coach like me, you really have the opportunity to go ahead and tweak it. So sometimes you don't even realize how you're living your life until you have someone help you put it all on paper and then go ahead and make minor tweaks and small incremental changes render massive results. So I'm going to tell you guys a little story. When I was initially bodybuilding for years and years, that's what I always wanted to do. I grew up as a skinny kid. I was insecure about it. I always wanted to put on weight, and I was always told I was skinny, yada yada yada. So I started putting on weight. I was eating so much food, so much so that I was breaking out like crazy. My gut was always messed up. I probably didn't have a good bowel movement for 2 years. I mean, it was all chicken and rice 4 times a day, oatmeal and egg whites and nut butters and things like that, and really just wreaking havoc on my gut. I really wasn't eating a lot of vegetables. I wasn't eating a lot of fruits at all. Really, just few and far between. I weighed 160 at the time, which isn't big. I'm not a bodybuilder, but for a guy that's 135, 140 right now on this health and wellness diet while I'm detoxing and still trying to heal my gut from those days, it's a big difference, 30 pounds. And since then, my skin is cleared up, but it's always been a journey, and I've learned a lot. And I specifically want to talk about candida and dysbiosis. So when I was transferring basically to like more of a raw diet, when I was eating more fruits and vegetables, more fruitarian, more detoxing, I started to notice that when I was mixing fats with sugars, I was having a big problem, and I still have it to this day sometimes because I'm still in the process of healing my gut as well. But now that I know this, I can implement another tool. So when you eat high fat, and people will say, avocados, olive oil, things like that, they're all good for you, and they are in moderation. But really, the oils are what gets you. Really, it's the sugar foods, it's the healthy cereals that are grain free, that are 7 grams of fat and 7 grams of added sugar in them. And when you have both at the same time, your body cannot process them. You can't shuttle that sugar into the muscles as much. That's when you need a real insulin spike, and that's when you really hit high A1C and pre-diabetic. So the issue lies in the high fat. So it thickens the blood. It takes longer to break down those sugars, and that's why candida flares up and you get an overgrowth of this yeast and the bad bacteria. So sugar feeds bad bacteria in general. It's high. Um, it causes high inflammation, but at the same time, you cannot actually absorb that. So candida ramps up. Candida is kind of your friend at this point. So it wants to help you break down these sugars. So it multiplies and then continues to break down these sugars. But then you have symptoms where you start to have rosacea, acne, brain fog, gut issues, things like that. So I know a lot of people are having this because they don't even understand it. So I've come a long way with healing my gut, but it does take time. So when you're on this diet, you can either go like the anti-candida route, which is, lean meats every now and then. You want vegetables, and then you can have some fats in there, but you're not going to be eating fruit. You're not going to be eating any high vegetable or high starch vegetable. You're not going to be eating any carbs. It's a really restrictive diet, and it's kind of tough. But It's a little bit easier than going the straight fruitarian vegan route where you're not having any oils, any fats at all. You really just want to get the fats out of the diet. And it's not because you're going to put on weight. That's not the reason why, but fats, obviously, there's fatty liver disease where your liver's retaining these fats and it's causing a whole slew of issues. So, your liver is the major detox organ of your body. You have your bowels that are the elimination, your kidneys go ahead and filter your blood, but your liver is really taking on everything that's coming in your body and trying to filter it. It's just one big machine. So, fats really are just very prevalent nowadays and we're overdoing it essentially. So you want to limit the fats and really get more detoxing fruits in there, more raw fruits and vegetables that have prebiotics, enzymes, probiotics, and they're just living foods. So your body's readily available to break them down and then it's food for the good bacteria in your body because remember, everything is either feeding good or bad bacteria. Some things can feed both like probiotics. I don't recommend probiotics. If you have dysbiosis severely, you likely need to kill off the bad bacteria first before you can start re-inoculating. So you're really going to remove um, foods that could be causing leaky gut, and you're going to remove things that are feeding the bad bacteria. So you want to starve that out before you can rebuild. So this is why having a coach is so essential. I'm taking 15 minutes out of my day to give people free assessments and just really just a discovery call. I advise you guys to take it. I can't strongly recommend it enough. I love sitting down with you guys, getting to know you and see what you guys have going on and seeing really how I can help. Also, we have Better Self Community, which is an amazing community. There's a great amount of people in there who are either battling things that you're currently battling, have battled them, and can be able to help and hold you accountable by either sharing their story or by battling along with you. Because a lot of times it can feel so lonely when you guys are on the journey of transformation. It can be a big problem. That's where I found myself. I felt myself lonely. I felt like nobody understood. And I felt like I just wish there was a community of people that I could really just kind of run with. And because you go into some of these Facebook groups and nobody talks to each other. Everyone's kind of just, I don't want to say complaining, but they're negative. They're worried about themselves. And there's really not a whole lot of connection in there. So that's really what I want to start implementing, just a community where people could really care for each other and really lean on each other and kind of go to war with each other is kind of the mindset behind that. We're just one big family just trying to be their better self. So also, you guys can download my free 12-week transformation guide. It's kind of a detailed plan that will really get you guys started in the foundational phase of really just bettering yourself and really just finding that better version of you. So I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are always amazing. I hope this helps, and I hope that if you guys have any questions, you feel comfortable enough to reach out. Take care.